महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बुद्धि की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 11, Text 17. निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्यव्यक्त्यहम् इदं विश्वं व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं तत्रासिन् निर्गुणः पुरुषर्षभः व्यक्त्याव्यक्तम् इदं विश्वं यत्र ब्रह्मति लोहवत् निमित्तमात्रं remote cause tatra then asit was nirgunaha uncontaminated purusharishabha the supreme person vyakta manifested avyaktam unmanifested idam this vishwam old yatra where brahmati moves lohavat like iron. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. My dear Dhruva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. He is the remote cause of the creation of this material cosmic manifestation. When he gives the impetus, many other causes and effects are produced, and thus the whole universe moves, just as iron moves by the integrated force of a magnet. Purport. How the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead works within this material world is explained in this verse. Everything is happening by the energy of the Supreme Lord. The atheistic philosophers who do not agree to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the original cause of creation think that the material world moves by the action and reaction of different material elements. A simple example of interaction of elements occurs when we mix soda and acid and the movement of effervescence is produced. But one cannot produce life by such interaction of chemicals. There are 8.4 million different species of life with different wishes and different actions. How the material force is working cannot be explained just out of the basis of chemical reaction. A suitable example in this connection is that the potter and the potter's wheel. The potter wheels rotates and several varieties of earthen pots comes out. There are many causes of the earthen pots, but the original cause is the potter who sets the force of the wheel. That force comes by his superintendence. The same idea is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Behind all material action and reaction, there is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna says that everything depends on his energy, yet he is not everywhere. The pot is produced under certain conditions of action and reaction of material energy, but the potter is not in the pot. In a similar way, the material creation is set up by the Lord, but he remains aloof. As stated in the Vedas, he simply glanced over it, and the agitation of matter immediately began. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that Lord impregnates the material energy with the part and parcel jivas, and thus the different forms of different activities immediately ensue. Because of the different desires and karmic activities of the jiva soul, the different type of bodies is different species are produced. In Darwin's theory, there is no acceptance of the living entity as spirit soul, and therefore his explanation of evolution is incomplete. Varieties of phenomena occur within this universe on account of the actions and reaction of three material modes, but the original creator or the cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is mentioned here is as Nimitta Matram, the remote cause. He simply pushes the wheel with his energy. According to the Mayavadi philosopher, the Supreme Brahman is transformed himself into many varieties of forms, but that's not the fact. He is always transcendent to the actions and reactions of material gunas. Although he is the cause of all causes, Lord Brahma says therefore in Brahma Samhita 5.1, Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. There are many causes and effects, but the original cause is Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's chant Mangalacharan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dagati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Bhutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvasya Kripa Sindhuvayevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kiran, let me take the blessings of all the Vaishnavis assembled here. So to all my mentors and Siksha Gurus and Prabhupada, so the right word comes at the right time. So now we are looking at Swayambhu Manu is, let's say, he's instructing or pacifying Dhruva Maharaj. To understand, we all know that Dhruva Maharaj, in very short duration, he achieved he could able to see the Lord, and then Lord has fulfilled his desire. So, but he was very not satisfied, because he was feeling that I got a broken glasses, though I got the Lord, but I haven't utilized it full-fledged because of his contaminated desires. So he was just thinking and unsatisfied. He's walking back, and then he reached the kingdom, and his father was very happy. He made him as the king. So now he's from prince to he'll become a King Dhruva Maharaj. So he was the king now. So he was having a happy life. So then what happened? Suddenly his brother, by the will of Providence, his brother went to a forest, and he got died. Yaksha has killed him, and his mother also went there, and she is also died in the forest fire. So what happened? So now Dhruva Maharaj got anger, because how my brother has been killed. So now Dhruva Maharaj is went to have a fight with Yakshas. When he is having a fight, initially apparently the Yakshas have made a trick, and then they have made him trick and Dhruva Maharaj, and then they look like apparent winning of the situation. So when the situation is being like, then what happened? The great sages heard that Dhruva Maharaj was overpowered by the illusory or mystic tricks of the demons. So they just went assembled to offer his auspicious encouragement. So this is the first thing we need to really understand. So whenever we have a problem, who is the first one is coming to help us is the devotees, because without the devotees encouragement we cannot proceed it with our day-to-day life. It's like a day-to-day life we are in under the tricks of the Maya or other material desires, right? So only our encouragement of the devotees what will keep us to do it. So what they have done, that devotees, they have great sages when they come. So what they given is, first thing is they said that to take the shelter of Saranga Danava, the one who holds the Saranga bow. So they are asking us to take the shelter of the Lord Krishna. So here the another very important beautiful point what they say. So the Lord is same as the holy name. So take the shelter of the holy name. So what, when the devotees comes to our life, what they say is to chant. So that's a very important thing. That's what the importance of having association with the devotees, right? Because they will always remind us to take the shelter of the holy name. So once then what happened? Then Dhruva Maharaj he got the encouraging words. Then he started doing, first thing what he did the Achamana. Achamana is touching water. The very important aspect is, when you doing Achamana, what we do, we chant the holy name of the Lord, right? So that means he is get the purification. So that's a very important. Then he takes the Narayana Astra. So when he takes the Narayana Astra, it has been so luminous. So then it pierced the Yakshas, and then it started killing them. So but what happened? They got Yakshas got anger, and then took whatever the weapons available, and then they just coming back and hitting them Dhruva Maharaj. So but Dhruva Maharaj, what happened? He started killing all the Yakshas who were coming. So it was like it's killing, massive killing is happening here. So this was the background of what was happening. At this time, Swayambhu Manu comes. So the one of the very beautifully important what we need to understand is, Sukadev Goswami says, in this case of Maitreya Muni says that Swayambhu Manu is coming as with a compaction. He is seeing that lot of Yakshas been killed. So he is coming with a compaction. So compassion is the one very important aspect. So based on the compassion is coming. Here he is coming on out of compassion for what reason? One is it, many innocent Yakshas are getting killed. That's a one. And second thing is, Dhruva Maharaj is not supposed to do all these things. He is having compassion with everyone. So that's the very important thing we need to understand. A devotee is a paradukka dukhi. He is like, he cannot tolerate any unhappiness for anyone. It's not only for his, oh my devotee is not. He is just worried about even the innocent Yakshas has been getting killed. So that's a very important we need to understand. So this is what we will see all the devotees right? So when we take Narad Muni, right? Narad Muni, when he saw the Mrigari the hunter. So what he was doing, Mrigari the hunter. He was not killing completely all the animals. He make them to suffer. So Narad Muni, out of compassion, he goes to that Mrigari and gives the out of compassion what he gives one. Narad Muni didn't ask that Mrigari hunter to chant at the first instruction. He didn't ask that to stop killing it. It was not his first instruction. The first instruction which Narad Muni gave to Mrigari the hunter is kill the animal, don't make it suffer. That's a very very important thing we need to understand is compassion is one thing, and second thing is what type of instruction to the what level of people giving is a very important, because the same Narad Muni, we know that somebody reads out of context Narad Muni is saying to kill animal, is that what the one Bhagavatam says? But if you really understand, so out of his compassion and what level and what he can understand, is giving it. So now coming back to Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj, so now Swayambhu Manu, it's out of compassion he is coming, and then so he is giving the instruction or advices to Dhruva Maharaj. So now let's try to understand what are the instructions, right? So first instruction he said that you are become unnecessary angry. Angry is the son of your mind. So that means he is telling you have become you are controlled by your mind. So that's what he is telling it. You have become unnecessary angry. So that means the krodha. It's one of the you are getting infected by krodha. That's the first thing he is telling it. And he is telling this is not approved by authorities. So it doesn't benefit our family. And then he just started telling that because of one extra has killed your brother, you are killing so many extras, innocent extras, unnecessarily. Then he is trying to put his instruction forward. So he is trying to pacify the Dhruva Maharaj. So then what happened? So in that case he is telling that you become that bodily relationship, because my brother has been killed, I am going to take a revenge. So first initially what happened, you took your mind relationship because you got angry. Now what happened, now you become a bodily consciousness, you are trying to do so much of more sin. So that's the second thing he is told. Then the third one is he is telling Dhruva Maharaj who you are. You are the one who has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is very hard to see. You are such a elevated person. This doesn't look good for you what you are doing it. That's his third part of doing it. He is telling that it's a very you are such a fortunate person. You have already destined to go to the supreme abode. You are such a fortunate person. Why you are unnecessarily getting into all those things? That's what he is telling it. Now this section what he is going to tell about. So he is telling about the yes, your brother has been died. So because of the extras, now he is trying to bring up the element factor of Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is telling it's all like the Supreme Personality of God has created these 5 elements, this material world, and he is the cause of everything. So today's words he is telling. So what you are seeing is your brother has been died. That is the immediate cause because of the extras. But there is a ultimate cause, the nimitta matram, remote cause. There is a supreme cause is there. That is a Krishna. He is telling about this one. So let's try to understand this. There are beautiful purport by Prabhupada. Let's try to understand. First thing is he is telling the put forward it's a nimitta matram. It's like a remote cause. So and then he is telling everything is behind the one, the supreme person. So Purusha Rishabha, right? So what are there are 5 causes are there, right? Bhagavad Gita teaches us there are every things happen in the world. It's because of 5 causes. The first cause is where action takes place. Action, wherever the action is happening, that's the place is the first cause. And second thing is the actor or the person who involved on this one. That's the second cause, the actor. Then the third cause is the instrument by which the action is being done. The third is the instrument. Fourth one is the endeavor or the impetus which pushes us to do that work. Then the fifth one is the Lord. So how do we really understand it? Right? So this is a very important one. We need to really understand it. So we all know that Bhagavad Gita first verse, right? So it's first verse a is one of the lecture of series. If we understand really the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand what Krishna is trying to say. So in the first version, what we know that, right? The Dhritarashtra, it starts with the Dhritarashtra says, Dhritarashtra Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandavasya Kimakuru Sanjaya. So his first thing is, let's put these 5 causes over there. First thing is what the place where it is staying. When the Dhritarashtra says where this it's happening in the Kurukshetra. He put the emphasis on Kurukshetra, the place he put the one. And second thing is the actors. Who are the actors? He says Mamaka, my sons, and Pandavas. Pandavas, the sons of Pandu. So he put the second factor also. Then third cause. Third cause is what? Is the action or the instrument. What they are doing? Samavekta Yugsava. They are assembled to fight. So that means there is a fight. Action is happening on the fight. That's the third one, right? Then the fourth one, endeavor. So what is the endeavor in this one? What Dhritarashtra is telling endeavor over here? So if you really understand the word Mamakaha, my sons, my and Pandavas, it's separate. Me and other. So he is having a separation. So that means the endeavor is causing is like my son has to rule, not others has to do, whether they are even eligible or not. My sons, that egoism, what causes the whole Mahabharata, right? Originally the Pandavas supposed to get it, but they couldn't get it, the ruling. It is because Dhritarashtra, he thought that I couldn't do. My son has to become the king. I couldn't become the king. My sons, that Mamaka, mom, that is the what Mamaka, that's what the endeavors it pushes to cause the one. Then if you look at that verse, he didn't put the fifth cause at all. He didn't consider the fifth cause, Krishna. That's the what fall down of the Dhritarashtra. That's the whole point. We need to really understand it, right? So let's try to this is a very important one, so let's try to look at a few more examples, right? So one is that Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is so we know that Bali Maharaj, he's a demon, right? Demonic king. So Bali Maharaj, what happened? He used to fight with the Lord, means Devatas. They are the servants of Lord Vishnu. He used to fight with them, and then he used to win against them once, and second time when the Vam Day comes and then he capture everything. So that time his Bali Maharaj lost everything. Bali Maharaj servants started to fight. That time Bali Maharaj says to that one, their servant, that's very important, we need to understand. He said that previously being empowered by Providence, we have defeated great number of such followers of Lord Vishnu. But now the time is not right, so let's not fight it. That if you look at that, read that one, Bali Maharaj doesn't fight or oppose it when they are attacking them, because he understands that it is a will of the Providence. That means it's there is no need to fight it, right? So that's what he will not fight, and he will not allow others, his followers also to fight, right? So Prabhupada, the beauty of Prabhupada is Prabhupada quotes this one is multiple places. One of the lecture in the Montreal, when he is giving the Bhagavatam class, he gives this example, right? So he takes the day-to-day life also. Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example, right? So what he wills, in the whole life we are dragging from God. He is telling God only is giving us the daily bread. And Prabhupada said that you may ask it, how God is giving daily bread? I'm having a go to the shop, I'm giving the money, I'm getting the bread. And Prabhupada says that one, you may think like that, but how the wheat is coming? The wheat is the agriculture, it is being produced. So he just puts again the 5 causes over here. When you want to produce something, what are the 5 causes? One is the place, that means the land. If you want to cultivate a wheat, you want a land. So that means land is involved. And second thing is the people, that means the labor is involved. Then third one is, he said the capital is required. You need to put resources, either it's a manpower or your money or whatever capital is required. Then there is an organization which is pushing us. That means you produce a wheat and then you can sell it out product. There is an organization facing. He said that you can focus all these four. If there is no God factor is not involved, if there is one, you cannot produce it. If there is, let's say, if there is no drought or if there is a flood, you cannot produce it. Everything is happening because of the will of the Lord. And then Prabhupada quotes that one, right? Na chaiva devam param. So that means it's because of the supreme will of the Lord only everything is happening here. And this is the beauty of Prabhupada. Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so he writes one in the purport. So we are thinking that our job is giving us our daily bread. That means our job is what our protector. Prabhupada written this is one very important. He said that job is your choice. What the work you want to do, that is your choice. But doing that choice, what the result you have to get, that is your will of the Lord. So I am becoming some musician. That's my choice of becoming a musician, right? I can be like something like a big Oscar award winner musician, or it can be just simple trying to survive for a day-to-day bread. That is by the will of the Lord. So we think our job is a protector. That's a very important thing Prabhupada writes in one of the purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that our job is the choice, not the protector. That's the one thing we need to really understand. Right, coming back here, so that's a whole part, right? So in the same regard, Mahavishnu Maharaj, he says very beautifully. He gives an example of Titanic ship, right? We know the Titanic ship, when they built the Titanic, they said this is the cutting edge, or no one has built. It's like a man's wonderful marvel. No one has ever built. This is the everything they have done it scientifically. But what happened? The first trip when the Titanic went, it crashed, right? So whatever we say, whatever we have done, everything, it can crash like this. That's the will of the Lord. That's the one thing we need to really understand. So that's the key theme of here. So there are very many important things what Prabhupada has said here. Let's try to cover few points. One is with Prabhupada is as usual, he is bringing the foolishness of the scientists. Scientists, they think that they want to do everything has to be proven. They think that everything is like it's a chemical reaction and then do it. So this is one of the beautiful story. So Isaac Newton, we all know that he's one of the popular scientists, Isaac Newton, right? So what happened? He was a popular scientist. He's not atheistic. He has believed in the God. So but his friend was he doesn't believe the God. So he was thinking everything is happened by it just happened. That's what his theory. But Newton was trying to prove no, that's not the case. He wants to prove it. So one time what happened, Isaac Newton, he created a beautiful model of the universe. So he created he or his friend, no, so he created a beautiful model of the universe. It's such a beautiful, and then he kept it in the room. His friend and came and asked it. So who made this? It looks so nice. Isaac Newton said, no, it was happened as it is. No, who made this? Somebody should have done it. No, it happened as it is, like how our universe has happened like that. Then his friend is understood. But it's a very simple, but it's a very profound analogy. So that's the one thing to understand, right? So in this context, we want to see one of the Prabhupada's conversation with his scientist, about the scientist with his disciples. So we know that Prabhupada during the initial times, Karandar Prabhu was one of the Prabhupada's close associate, and then Dr. Singh, he used to talk a lot about the scientists. You can read in the Life from Life books and other places, right? So in that Prabhupada says that even in the sun there are and moon there are living entities present. So he asked Dr. Singh, so what is the opinion of the scientists? So then the Dr. Singh says that they say there is no life over there. Then Prabhupada says, he was very furious. he said that's nonsense. There is life over there. Then Dr. Singh said what the scientists feel that they went there and then they couldn't figure it out any living entities. So how can they say that because the moon planet is covered by dust, even within the dust the living entities can be existing here. So Prabhupada this is a very important thing. Look in Prabhupada says that every living entity is a sarvagataha, so they can live in any place. He gives the example of a living entity is not like a material body, so it's like it's a soul. Then he quotes that verse, right? It cannot be cut or it cannot be fired, it can be moistened, so it can be done. They cannot, they are not understanding it. That's what Prabhupada is furious and arguing it. So then this is a very important. Then Dr. Singh says that they are trying to extend their knowledge on this planet to the external one. So then Prabhupada said that's a frog's theory. That's what we call Dr. Frog's philosophy. So everybody started laughing. Then Prabhupada explained what's a frog philosophy. So there is a one frog in the well, and then one of the friend goes to the frog telling there is a big Atlantic Ocean. Then frog started thinking, oh, how big? 10 times bigger than this well? No, it's a very big. So how much? 100 times? So it's what is the one? So that means frog cannot think beyond. It's a limited. That's what he's telling. The scientists are limited with what they see and perceive. That's the problem with the one. Prabhupada is very one. And then he said that one. Then again the Dr. Singh says that one. So there everything is like they based on the scientific integrity. So that means they have based on the experience or analogy they are trying to extrapolate it. Then Prabhupada again will blast them, right? So he says that one. You may talk based on your experience, I may talk based on my experience. You may be a fool. I cannot believe what you are a fool and then do it. So that's what's his point about it. He's like a scientific, we cannot simply go based on what they are thinking about it, right? So that's a one. It's like a scientist, we all know, right? Always a scientist has been proven as wrong. What they have, it's like what they understood at that time based on certain condition. If the condition is being changed, that means they say that, oh, we figured out something new. So that's what they call it. They did not say that what we said is wrong until now. They say that we figured out something new. Okay, so let's try to understand few more ones in the purport. So one is that in the example the Prabhupada gives that potter's wheel rotates, right? Potter's wheel rotates, and then it looks like the potter wheel is the cause of the making a pot, but there is a person behind, right? How do we really understand it? So this is Narad Muni says to Lord Brahma. We can see it in the Canto 2. So there is a very beautiful example gives that one. So what he says that one is, it's like a spider cobweb. Spider is one, it generates the cobweb, right? So cobweb is coming, spider is. So what happened when in the cobweb insect goes, they'll get stuck. But whereas the spider can easily swim through the cobweb, we can make such a design. And then when it decided the cobweb, it can pull back as well, oil its saliva. Some of the spider has a ability to spill back. There are some spider it will leave as it is the cobweb. That's the whole thing. So it's like he's telling that God is something, he just creates, maintains and annihilates. If you are not belong to part and parcel of God, if you try to exploit the material situation, we will be like the insects which is there in the cobweb. That means we'll get trapped in the whole material world. So that's a one. So there are Chaitanya Charitamrita gives in this aspect there are multiple examples, right? How do we really understand? So in Prabhupada writes in one of the purport here is he gives a compare. So electricity is transferred through a copper. In a wire you know that it's a copper. The electricity is transferred through a copper. So that doesn't mean that copper is not the electricity. Electricity is something is being generated by a person who are the capable person who knows how to generate in the powerhouse. So we cannot see the copper wire and can say that there is electricity. The copper wire produces electricity. No, copper wire doesn't produce the electricity. The electricity is being produced by in the powerhouse by the science or who knows that one how to produce the one. That's what he gives the one. So another example which Prabhupada quotes it also always that there will be iron rod, it can become a fire when it is been always with the fire, right? That doesn't mean that iron rod is iron rod only, but what is causing that become a fire, it is because of the association with the uh, fire. That's what with the material nature association it causes that one, but the producer is a Krishna, right? So another one, again Prabhupada is always wherever it's a possible he'll blast the Mayavadis philosophies, right? So here also he gives the blast the Mayavadi philosopher, right? So again I'll take one example from Chaitanya Charitamrita where Prabhupada blast the Mayavati. So this is with the background is okay. So Haridas Thakur in the Mazumdar assembly, he Gopal Chakravarti, he will just blaspheme the Haridas Thakur, and then he just and Haridas Thakur will go walk away. That time Balram Acharya he said that, so Gata Patya, so that means he said that you are a foolish logician, right? Prabhupada writes in this purport very beautifully. So he said that then Mayavadis are called Gata Patya, it's like pot and earth philosophy. Their Mayavadi philosophy is like pot and earth philosophy. They say that one, according their philosophy, there is no distinction between pot made of earth and earth. But we know, everyone knows that yes, pot is made of earth, but pot is different than earth. It has a different purpose and everything. So that's what they will not understand it. So if they couldn't understand, Prabhupada will go further. So he's like they are like how can understand the devotional service? That's the whole problem of the Mayavadi. That's what whenever there is option, Prabhupada writes the Mayavadi philosophy. We know that Prabhupada is, we know so many pastimes, right? Where Prabhupada is the Mayavadi, wherever the option, he will do it. So this is one of the Prabhupada Leela. So this from the Gopal Das Prabhu. So he says that they all went to some what do you say, some lot of, they call the so-called saints, and then Prabhupada also went with them. So in that one, they put one big Vyasasan for that Mayavadi sannyas, and then they had another 6 small ones. In that, almost all the small ones, their sannyasi only, their assistants were sitting it. So here the Gopal Das Prabhu and said, no, this is for Prabhupada. But Prabhupada said, it's okay, let them sit. And then he sat in Prabhupada in one of the corner Vyasas and one. So in that, Prabhupada has always used to go with his own devotees. So this Gopal Das Prabhu and one more Prabhu, they were there in the arena. The others are sitting in the dais. The others are sitting in the downstairs. What happened? This Mayavadi sannyasi was keep talking it. Prabhupada couldn't tolerate. Then Prabhupada said to this Gopal Das Prabhu, start Kirtan. So he had Kartal, he started chanting, and then the other Prabhu had a Mridanga, he started one. All the devotees in the arena, they started chanting, keep dancing and everything. So they couldn't, Mayavadi stop talking, they walked away. And this Prabhupada also walked away. Now Prabhupada said in the car, so we kicked in the face of Mayavadis, right? He asked that one. So then Gopal Das Prabhu said, yes, we kicked very forcefully, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada doesn't tolerate Mayavad, right? Because who will tolerate if your life and soul or beyond your life and soul someone is getting hurt, how they can tolerate? So that's the Prabhupada. Okay, so now the last one is the cause. We'll try to do it. So the whole thing, the purpose of this verse is how do you look at this purpose of what we have seen so many things. So how do we really understand this? What Swayambhu Manu is making it, he's trying to say that yes, we are not the doer. We just simply see the immediate cause, and then we think we are the actionable, we are the doer. We try to take a react based on that one. All right. So this is a very easy example, we can understand it. So we can easily understand we are not the doer. I'll just give a couple of examples based on what I know. I have never done any cooking in my life until 5 or 6 years before. So I never done anything. One time we had a temple, we had a very good smoky paneer. It was very good, and then we thought we'll cook. And then we thought, no, I decided we'll cook for our class. There are lots of devotee comes. And then we are cooking. After some time, my wife said, this is not, you took a risk, this is not going to work out. In another 1 hour class is going to start, I'll do something, plan B. It's not going to work it out. Okay, I thought I should have not tried it. Then we don't know what happened. After anyway, she was trying something. This was finished. Then we offered, and then somehow we did, and then she prepared another dishes. When we give it to the devotees, they said this. It was too good. How this paneer is being made. We are like, no one can. We can't say anything. We have done anything. It's all like. It's all happened. We know that okay, this is not something. Definitely, we can't take our one. So one time Asim Prabhu was giving an example. He was making a fried rice in the temple. So he prepared a fried rice, and he thought maybe salt and chili will be less. He added some more salt and chili. Then his wife, he was telling here in the one of the class, his wife came and put some more salt and chili. Then Prem Sagar Prabhu came. You can add some more salt and chili. Then like that. Totally, he said that 6 people has added salt and chili. Was like gone because fried rice was one of the main preparation of that day. So he was thinking how 6 people have put a salt and pepper, salt and chili after I put it. Then he was like, Gopinath, I'm done. I cannot do anything. So and then, but what happened? He thought whether their BP is going to increase or they are going to cry or what. And one person came, Prabhu, this is the best fried rice I ever ate. Asim Prabhu was like, I'm done. I'm not going to take any credit. So, right? It's a very, we can easily see whenever if you've been to cooking one, we know that we may think we know everything, but definitely we cannot do anything. And another one is easily the what we can see in the book distribution. We know that we see maybe I always tend to see, oh, he's coming from Indian background. Why he will buy only Bhagavad Gita? He may buy a Bhagavatam set also. He will not buy even a simple small book also. Maybe another person we think, I will not go. Maybe who knows, if I go and talk to them, they may take couple of books also. We can clearly see, we think we are the doer, we can judge everything, we can know, but clearly we can know that there is nothing. We are just a simple instruments of the one. So that's a one. So in that one, pastime from Navina Nirada Prabhu. So he given one example of what he has faced in the Sankirtan. He said that one. So he tried to one person to give books like anything. So he said that one. I was doing all the one to making giving the books. Then he thought nothing is working. Then I stopped talking to him, and then I just in front of him I stopped talking for a minute. I was just praying. So until then, before a minute, the person was like no, everything, and then after that he bought the book. He said that only person who bought the book after me not talking is maybe that the one of the person, because most of the time he Prabhu proposes and gives and then to take it, right? In this case, Prabhu stopped talking, then he took the book. He said that it's like our prayers, and then it's a Lord's will make the person to take the book. So that one. So another one important thing what we need to really understand it, right? So why this is a problem? We always thinking that it's like we are the doer, everything is based on what the cause. If that is happening, what is called, this is what creating something called egoism. Radhanath Swami Maharaj beautifully says that one, right? So what will happen then we always thinking everything is based on I-centric, I, me, my brother, and it's happened in one, I am taking, it's like I, me, that kind of a one, it's like I and mine. So when we have that kind of attitude, what will happen? Our service attitude will go away. So will not able to do any services, even will not show any respect to our Vaishnavas. So that means what will happen? We'll started seeing everything that if they are not related to I, then I'll started seeing them as competitors. So that's the whole purpose of the one. So that's the whole thing what Maharaj was telling it, right? So then what will happen if you're going that one? We always think that not the Krishna as the center, I as the center. We started thinking I centric will become that one. That's a whole parameter. So Maharaj says beautifully, if you want to look at the parameter of which we are progressing it, we need to see when we see other devotees how we becoming happy or how we are showing respect to that other devotees. That means we have the humility in ourselves. Then that means we are progressing it. Other means otherwise we are still in that I centric of the one. So that's a important one. Try to understand. So we are not the cause of the one. So Virendra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any correction questions? No, how means it's like it's a Maharaj was telling the humility is like if you have the humility, we'll started showing respect to others. So we started seeing the other devotees exalted. We started thinking, oh, they have more devotion. I don't have anything. The humility is the one. So that means we start always see that whenever devotees we see them the one. Then means we he says that's a barometer of one. Okay. Thanks so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thanks for your question.